Oh, stop.
We're going to go on another hike and we're going to take you with us. Let's go. Here's a beautiful view that we have from our little cabin. As you can see, the colors are mostly just yellows. We had a lot of wind, and so a lot of leaves blew away, but we got the stream now has a lot of water in it. It's hard to tell from here. There we go. Now I can zoom in. And I'm sure you can hear it. We're just going to we're going to follow this ridge along here. As you can see, there's a ridge here, then there's a low flat spot in the stream, and then it slopes up in the distance. So we're just going to follow this rim around over and then cross the creek on the other side. There we go. And we're going to follow this. Looks like it's an old logging trail. We're going to walk down that for a little bit. Here's it's really pretty along here. There's been so much rain that that's not normally full of water down in there because the stream is way beyond it. But this is the area we're going in. You also missed me falling down. It's extremely slippery because there's a lot of leaves with real slippery clay underneath it.
You can hear the black-capped chickadee.
Yeah, the black-capped chickadees are chirping, and so this is really gorgeous. This is a fun time of year to be out walking around. Here's some more. I'm just going to periodically turn this on and let you guys see what we're seeing, since you're walking with us. You don't want you to miss anything. Most of the trees around here are beech, hemlock, maple, and there's a few white pine, but it's mostly beech and hemlock through here, and maple. I've been looking for birch or cedar so I can find tinder, but this area doesn't seem to have much of either one of those. I'm not sure why, but anyway, we'll just go along. If we see anything that looks pretty, I'll turn it back on. You gotta really watch. It's hard to walk and look through this viewfinder at the same time. But it's so pretty out. I don't want you guys missing anything. Somebody has been back here logging. I don't know who's been doing this or when, but they've been in here taking trees out. So we're going to kind of find a road to see where they're sneaking in and sneaking out. Well, we came out on this road. This is where we walked before. We went up that way, but this time we're going to go up and walk up this way and see what's up that way. Okay, we'll be back with you. Oh, I found where some of our trees are. They're being drug out and staged right here. Not happy. It's awfully pretty down through here. We're just going to follow this road. We're not even sure where it goes. Well, actually, we are sure where it goes because I have a topographical map, but it's so well marked I haven't really bothered checking it. Anyway, we'll get back to you when we get a little farther down. So now we're going down this trail that's marked for horses. So we're going to be walking down here. It's mostly white pines along here. Looks like it's almost all white pines and a maple here and there. Okay, we're turning back west, which is down this path. It's not showing on the map, of course, but we need to go west to get back to where our cabin is. And I just noticed right there's an apple tree. So there's apple trees and all kinds of... a lot of this area used to be farms and stuff before it got reclaimed by the forest. So I think it's just a case of... there's like little plots of apple trees around and other stuff. And I think I found some tinder fungus, but I don't know enough about it to know if it really is. But it looked like it was on a... it was a tree that was peeling like a birch does, but it was dark, so I don't know. I think there's a tree called a black birch, so it might be that. But I saved it just in case. Cath's going to try to get an apple.
It might be a little bit
Small
and old.
Yeah, these apples are obviously from the tree has kind of reverted.
There's a big one up there, but
That's not very big though. I think this tree's reverted.
Further.
Oh, I think this tree's reverted back to its old self. Because most fruit trees are grafted, so they'll take a hardy, wild, root system and they'll graft on something with big, that gets big, nice apples. I think this is kind of going back wild. If you can see the base of it, it looks like it's suckers and stuff have grown up. Anyway, we're gonna the trail is getting littler. This looks like a trail that people have been going on, four-wheelers back in here.
Look at that. It's a bird track. Look at the sharp.
Where?
Sharp, 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 sharp.
No, that's not.
It's not?
Those are deer tracks. That's too large.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Look at the two.
Yeah, that's the deer tracks.
Okay.
So each one of those is a deer's cloven hoof. It's got two sides to it. So anyway, we're gonna follow this back to see if we can get back to our property. As we got off our property, but this is pretty cool looking back in here. This looks like a cherry tree. Yeah. It looks sort of like a cherry tree, but I don't think it is. Yeah. But you see how cool this is back in here. Now those look like birch trees, but I think those are all aspen trees. Those right up there are aspen. So a lot of times I think I see a birch tree, it's an aspen because they're so white looking. Anyway, we're gonna walk down this way. We'll just keep you on so you can see.
I smell that one kind of tea.
It is really muddy. Oh. We're still going west. And I think this is still state land because I don't see any signs, posted signs.
We found a new trail.
All right, we'll get back to you. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just bushwhacking our way with a compass and a map. This is the kind of terrain we're in right now. And it looks like a lot of trees have blown over, fallen over, but there's places where they were cut off, like that one right there was cut off. So, this is just the kind of terrain. So, we're gonna go up through here and we'll let you come along for a little while.
Careful, Tom.
Okay. Footing is pretty tough because there's lots of stones and roots and stuff to step on. Yeah, it's getting muddy.
What tree is that?
That is called ironwood.
Wow.
It's you can tell it looks real muscly. Like, see that one right there?
Yeah.
I'll zoom in on it. That small one right there, where you can see how that's ironwood, and it grows around wet areas like creeks and stuff. Super hard wood. Yep. We're like in a flat spot or a little bit of a dip, so a lot of water collects. And what we're doing is we're using the sun so that we don't have to stare at the compass, because it'd be a nightmare to walk through this treacherous stuff and stare at your compass. So we're walking towards the sun, but we're keeping it right off our left shoulder, because we want to be headed west. And check out that. This is where a tree grew around a stump. Let's back up. A tree grew around a stump there, and then the stump rotted away. Isn't that cool how the roots came down around on all sides, and then where that mound is was where the old tree was. And you can see on that side right there, there's a remnant right here, a remnant of the old tree. Pretty neat. Better hurry up, because Kath will get away from me and Don't want her to get lost. But this is the kind of terrain that I typically end up navigating through. As you can see, it's so dense that it's hard to find terrain features. So you pretty much have to make sure every time you find a cut, follow it on the map. But it's got to be deep enough to be it's got to be at least 10 feet or so. You're not going to see it on the map because contour lines are about 20 feet apart. And so they're going to dip down, or just make it like a little blip. So you've got to really watch. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and sign off for a little while, and then I'll come back because it might be getting boring just wandering around this way. Well, we made it back, and there's some trees I found that I think is birch, so I'm going to walk back over with a plastic bag and grab some. But we came out right straight up through that way, and within about a half a minute of when I last signed off, right after we went to that swampy area, way off in the distance we saw the blue car. So we ended up navigating ourselves right exactly back to our cabin, which is pretty cool considering how dense this is and lack of terrain features. Look how pretty that is from this view. Back up that way is our cabin. You can see that's a really old skid trail. There's a lot of erosion right down there, but it goes up that way. Let's see, up around there, up around the bend is where our cabin is. And then over here is that place where I said it's usually not very much water in it. And I was just going to pan over here and just show you all of that. There's a steep bank right here, and that whole area is like a tabletop. It's just flat with the stream running through it. So it's almost like I guess some of the locals refer to it as a gut through here. But anyway, I noticed there were some trees that I'm going to call it birch because it was peeling, and I lit some of it with a lighter, and it burned with black smoke, which would indicate that there's oil in it. So I think I got, anyway, it takes a spark, or it lit instantly. So if it's not birch, it looks like it's going to work well. Anyway, I'll turn it back on when I get up to the tree. Okay, Mike of Bushcraft Bartons, this is for you. I want to see if you know if this is birch or not. And you can see the bark is peeling like this, and it's coming off like just like this. There aren't any leaves on it. Well, there's some way up there, and they kind of look like a birch leaf, but I'm not sure, but I know you'll know. So anyway, if you see this video, let me know if this is birch. I'm going to collect some and put it, I got a plastic bag here, and it's a resource I want to make sure I take advantage of, because that's what we do. Is if we find something that we can use for tinder, we grab it right then, because you never know if you're ever going to see it ever again. And around here, birch and cedar is very rare. I haven't seen any cedar trees, and if this is a birch tree, I've only seen a few of these. Well, I got my bag of birch bark, or whatever it is, and I'm just so beautiful out here. It's probably around 4 o'clock or so, and so I'm just gonna head down and let you see what I'm seeing on my way back to the cabin. Hopefully I won't fall down. sort of try to figure out what birds I'm seeing when I see them. Everything else for that matter. In my phone I've got a bird, an Audubon bird book, Audubon mammals book, trees, reptiles and amphibians. I'm not sure, I think that's about it. Here's this little runoff that I've got to negotiate. Okay. And as you can see, it's going down through this logging or skid path, and that's why it's eroding like this. I didn't even know we had this much rain. And now you can see in the distance the back of the cabin. Right there. Okay. There's a little porch and a little one-room cabin. I'm going to show the inside of the cabin because Kath found some more stuff to decorate it. It looks really good. Anyway, I'll get back to you. Here's the inside of our cabin. There's our wood-burning stove. We got a new backer for it to protect the wall. And then we're going to utilize that. That's what Kath made, and we bought that other one. And we got this nice mirror. It looks like it's cockeyed in my picture, but it's not. And then over here is a table, and she just put this up. There's a picture, and then she just put this little thing up right there. And then the curtains she made out of camouflage cloth. There is a painting that was my mother's, so I always thought that was cool looking. I always thought that was neat. And then she put that up with little bears on it. Okay, and then there's a little table here, right there, the door, and then there's the pantry. She hasn't finished the curtains there. Here's the bed. I've got my topographical map stuff up there, but that's the one bed, and then my jacket stuff, but those are the other windows that have curtains on them. And there's another bed here that I've got a bunch of bags of tinder that I collected. Over here's where the wood is and that stuff. There's kindling right there in that bucket. A couple of windows here. And then this picture, which I hope I can get a good picture, a good view of it. This is a picture that my little sister painted for me. It's unbelievably good. It's a pine forest, and it looks almost like she could have painted it from here, but she painted it from out west. That's on this wall between those windows. All right. I just wanted to give you a little tour of our little one-room cabin. And you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll be seeing you later. Until next time, God bless.